We got some big things happening on the charts right now. We're going to dive into it. We're going to go into a market update, look at some of the drivers, look at some individual altcoins, as well as go over some house announcements and stuff like that. People wondering why we changed from Stargate to Lodestar, as well as some other thoughts and stuff like that. It's going to be like a scrambled egg, this market update. But let's get into it because we have some key developments on some altcoins that we love, like Flare, FLR. Usually the F stands for full retrace, but this time it stands for real. This could be it. This could finally be a sustainable move for Flare that takes it, first target, in my opinion, 5 cents. But we're going to cover that. So let's get into it. Well, first off, the other day on September 18th, so about 6 days ago, I sent out this email to everybody on the email list. So if you're not on the email list, link in the bio, go to the lodestar-crypto.com website and get on the email list, because I'm going to be dishing out a whole lot of content on the emails going forward here, dropping some key gems. But I dropped this 6 days ago saying crypto collapse, urgent warning, or catapult, 72 hours, giving a 72-hour warning about a big move is about to happen. And I had mentioned that could we be about to explode into a full-blown alt season? Or is there one more sneaky capitulation candle looming around the corner? What I know is this: it's very likely we'll find out in the next 72 hours. That was 6 days ago. Fast forward 3 days ago. 3 days later, from that email, we got that sneaky capitulation moment, which had the highest amount of liquidations, on this whole chart. So since back in March, maybe further back since February, but to the T, called the 72-hour collapse or catapult urgent warning, and we got that sneaky capitulation candle. But what comes next? In my opinion, we had a flush, and now I think we're headed right now to a rush in the prices, and we're already starting to see some of that action play out. So Bitcoin right now, let's cover it first and foremost. We're getting a 4-hour buy now. So in the video yesterday, we were covering, all right, on the daily chart, we need a U-turn, but we need to look at the 12-hour, which we actually have a 12-hour prepare to buy soon here, which is solid, but we need to see the buy now. And we need to look at the 11-hour. We're starting to cross up. We're starting to see it. We need to look at the 9-hour. We're starting to cross up. We're starting to see the U-turn. If we look at the 6-hour, we're starting to see the U-turn and the cross. So we're getting those lower time frame crosses, and we need this to sustain, because then it will spill into the 1 day and we can turn this baby around. So that's where we're at right now as far as Bitcoin goes. We're at a key level we want to break above. Ideally want to get back above 114,500, but really getting back above 115,500, 116,000 is going to be key for just getting on out of here, and that being the bottom here. If we were to get rejected and we roll back over, it's very likely, 111K, 110,000, worst case 110,000, that's 786 in my opinion. So now that we covered that and Bitcoin's looking pretty solid at the moment and we have those signals, let's go into total 3, because I had this mapped out. I had mentioned this in the video yesterday, and in the Discord, let me pull that up. I had said in the market updates, buy or buy. Crossroads on total 3. This was earlier this morning, and we're at 1.09 trillion. I covered this kind of fractal I was looking at in the video yesterday, and now let's take a look at it, because we're still at 1.09 trillion. If we go to the 4-hour chart and zoom in a little bit here, we're starting to get a 4-hour buy now signal. We're seeing that momentum on the lower time frame start to turn. Now we need to see it on the 6. We need to see that 6 start to turn, and that will spill into the 12, and then that can spill into the 1 day, and we can turn the sucker around and hopefully go into a November 2024 type of move. This is where I grabbed it from. We had that last kind of flash crash to then just rip, just like we had this flash crash. Everybody's calling for 90K Bitcoin now, and the bear market starting, and this could be the flash crash to the rip, that one last sneaky capitulation before a melt up. And usually that's how it always goes. It's always like before a massive move to the upside, there's always a brutal move to the downside, kind of smashing everybody's hope. So the rest of this week is going to be critical for us to start pushing up, because on the 1 day chart here, you can see the blue starting to creep up to the pink. It wants to give it a smooch. We need to see this null and void. We want to see this blue come back down, this pink start to come back up, stock RSI momentum come up, and the TSI cross, and then we'll be good to go. So that's what we're watching there. We're holding the key levels, minimal downside here. I don't want to see us go lower than that low that we had set earlier even today. So 1.06 trillion and breaking above 1.13 trillion will, in my opinion, give us more probability that this is playing out. And if it can happen fast, then we're in the midst of it, in my opinion. So that's where we're at as far as this goes. Everything is all good there. XRP starting to break out of this little downtrend here. We had that retest on this resistance support, came back down to it, held the line, which is good. Now we need to come up. We need to get above $3 and then ultimately above $3.16, and then $3.30. Then we'll cover it at that point. But no like signals like 12 hour or anything like that. We might add a 6 hour. We're getting a 6 hour buy now, which is solid. So we're seeing those shorter time frames start to flash buy nows, which is good, but it's not as good as seeing a medium to higher time frame 12 hour 1 day momentum start to come back in. And that's across the board. XRP's looking like that, XLM's looking like that. But Flare announced their F assets. They went live with the XRP yields for FXRP. As you can see, we had this resistance trend line stretching back to February 2024. We just broke above it on this candle, this current candle. We need to see this close for confirmation, but this is happening as we speak. So a breakout of this massive macro triangle in tandem with that announcement, to me, I'm feeling more confident that the F stands for real this time and not full retracement. But we need to wait until tonight, and ideally another candle close tomorrow that's above this resistance and out of this triangle. And our first target is going to be from this high down to the low, the 786, which is sitting at like 3 cents. But breaking above that, very likely we're going to come up to around 3 cents first target if we're talking about retracement. Then we got 4 cents the second target, and then blowing past there will bring us up to around 5 cents. And then if we can just full send it and take out these highs, we're talking big numbers. Prices we've been waiting for a long time on Flare, and it looks like finally this is it. F is for finally this time. That's all looking good. So in the Discord as well too, with the Stargate VIPs, in case you missed it, the ICYMI channel I announced at 10:10 a.m. when we're just starting to break out of that triangle, I announced a little bit of a pair-to-pair swap, XRP, XLM, HBAR, a little sprinkle into Flare. Even though we're already heavy in it, I believe that this is a real rally. So announce that, perfect timing. And if this can be, this can confirm here and we start to press up, this will be a solid swap move. So that's that. And also too, I'm going to be recording new 2025 blow off top price prediction videos, and Flare is going to be the first. Flare's going to be the first on them. So next up, we got the alt season pulse chart. We're on the 12 hour. Like I said in the last video, we want to see this roll back down and get sucked in by the belly of the beast. Right now, we're in this kind of waddling stage. We need to see more confirmation come in, but we're getting rejected from these highs from over here, which is solid. We want to see this go down if we want to see alts go risk on. Ethereum, if we're going to go lower, say the whole market goes lower, then we could see a move down to like 3,500 for Ethereum, kind of similar to back here when we had our horizontal support. We broke it, horizontal support. If we were to break that, likely, one more flush and then we'd reclaim it, go sideways, and then October takes us up to the next big move up. So we're not quite far away. I mean, if we're going to see any more downside, it would likely happen this week. So just make it through by the end of this week on Sunday with the weekly candle close. By then, the dust should be settled, in my opinion. So that's that. So let me see if there's anything else here. Looking at others. So others, 12 hour prepare to buy soon. We saw that same signal flash August 1st. We need to see that buy now. So we could see something like back here where we had the 12 hour prepare to buy soon. We went up a little bit, came back down. So we could come back down, in the next 24, 48 hours, but then we need to see a pump up. So likely, like I said, by the end of this week, the dust should be settled here. So that's that. So I think that covers as far as the charts go and everything like that and what I'm watching here. As far as changing Stargate to Lodestar, I know G-Man was asking about it in the comments. So before I sign this document, I'm going to lay it out. So basically, MGM, the company with the movies, had issued a cease and desist because they had a movie Stargate. Been going back and forth with them for like 3 years over this. And it came to a point where, it was time to let it go. So kind of agreed to a settlement with them. I needed to change all the Stargate stuff and we settled on Lodestar. So that's going to be it going forward, which reminds me, I'm going to have to rename the Stargate software. So I'm going to have to change it to Lodestar Signals, Lodestar Fib Forecaster, Lodestar Snakes. Unfortunately, bummer, because it sticks, Stargate software, but got to do what you got to do. So I believe that is it. I'm going to get back to the charts because we're seeing Flare take off, still going. Yeah, things are looking good. I believe we're at this point. FLR, and the F stands for Fitzy, baby. Fitzy's certified handsome. He's a 33-degree type of handsome. This guy posts a chart of Flare, bang, it goes. Legend. So we're going to leave it off at that. Hopefully we're in for some good times, man, because this has been a brutal bull market, to be honest. Hasn't even felt like a bull market. It's been so long. Every time it pumps, it dumps. Hopefully this time around, this shit can stick this time. I want to see us all make profits and then, walk away and take some time off. We all deserve it. So I'll see you guys in the Discord. Link is in the bio for that. I'll see you guys in the next video, and get over on that email list because I'm going to be dishing a lot of good stuff out, some key nuggets that I've learned over the years and learned during this bull market as well too. Always learning. Also too, if you wanted access to the LODESTAR'S software, then I'm running a special, September special. So definitely go over to the website. Link is in the bio. Fill out the form and we can talk about getting you kitted and suited up with those. Also as well to leave a ticker of a coin you want me to go over for 2025 price predictions. I'm restarting that back up and we're at the tail end here. So I'm about to whip up a whole lot of content going into this Q4 year because it's time. We're at the moment, so it's time to make sure we're covering all bases. I'm going to be dropping videos on videos a day, covering individual altcoins, etc. So any coin you want me to cover, I know somebody wanted me to cover Stronghold, but any other coins you want me to cover, I'm going to be dishing it out. So I'll see you guys in the Discord, and I'll see you guys in the next video.